Hey everybody, we are back today with a brand new episode all about friends and money. So something a little bit uncomfortable, maybe controversial. We'll have to wait and see. This is a topic that I think affects a lot of people, but I feel like it's kind of a taboo topic to discuss for a few different reasons. I think that we always talk about awkward money situations in relationships and romantic relationships. But it also, I think, affects a lot of our platonic relationships too.
Definitely. So there are obviously a lot of different opinions you can have about this, a lot of different ways to see it. So before we talk about how we feel about it, we wanted to hear from our readers.
As a young girl living in a very diverse city, I find it important to keep money and friends completely separate. However, I know this becomes a challenge, especially when meeting with girlfriends means grabbing a drink or grabbing dinner. So I will pick a few places that I feel comfortable with, and then I'll send the suggestions over to my friends and let them ultimately make the decision, so we're all happy about where we're going and we're all happy with how much we're spending.
So growing up, my parents were always super generous with money, but they always said to never loan out any money that you need back or expect back. So that's what I've always done. Even when it comes to like movie tickets, if I buy the tickets, I don't expect to be Venmo'd the money back because a lot of times people just won't.
So I think we can all agree topics of friends and money are just awkward across the board. It's hard to talk about. It's never easy.
Yeah, I was literally looking up information about friends and money before we sat down to talk about it, and there were like all of these memes that are like friends and money are like oil and water. Like people really feel that way.
Yes, definitely. Like that's pretty across the board. Yeah. It's awkward. But when it really starts getting controversial is when you're getting into the nitty gritty of like borrowing money, lending money, how much is too much? Where do you draw the line from? What's the difference between, oh, let me just pick up the tab for you, and then that happens 3 weeks in a row?
Yes, it's so true, because I think that it's easy to be like, oh, I'll get lunch today, but then, is it like even? Do you reciprocate like the same amount? And it kind of just becomes, it can become a thing. Not for everybody, but that's kind of what we wanted to delve into. So I have my own thoughts about this, but I'm curious what you think.
See, when I think about it, other than the very occasional, hey, let me grab your drink, I want to buy your drink because we're celebrating, or something like that, I don't think you should ever borrow or lend when it comes to friends. I never really think it's okay. No, pretty much never. I feel like there's always this undercurrent of either resentment or a power struggle. Even in the healthiest friendships, it can become a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I totally see that, but I don't know, I just disagree. I feel like, to me, it is, I don't know, I feel like money is fluid. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. If I have a little bit more,
I never have it.
Sometimes you really don't ever have it, most of the time that's me. But if I do have it, I feel very much like, if I have money and I want to go out to a nice dinner and I know that a friend like doesn't, if she's doesn't have as much money as I do that particular week for some reason, I have no problem being like, let me treat us to dinner. It's kind of more of a selfish thing at that point, but because it's kind of like I want us to both be able to go. But I also just think that at that point, you're able to take that pressure off of them. I don't know. I can see how they might find it. I would never want it to feel like charity, but...
Here's my question. So you said like, okay, they have less money than I do that week. What if it's a consistent thing? They make significantly less money than you do.
Right. Okay, then yeah, I can see how...
So I think it definitely depends on the situation, but as a general rule of thumb, my rule is I don't borrow, I don't lend. Not that I ever lend because I'm poor.
So let me tell you guys a really interesting anecdote. I started working at the Every Girl and had a coworker who I'm really good friends with now, but I had only known her like a month at this point, right? Like she was a new friend to me. I was supposed to be going home to Baltimore for a specific event, and I accidentally booked the wrong time for my flight. I know, it was like I got to the airport and they told me, and I was so upset, and the change fee was just a lot of money, and I just didn't have it to spend. And I was texting my friend and I was like, I'm so disappointed. I'm not going to be able to go. The whole reason that I was going was for this event that I was going to miss because I misbooked my flight. And she sent me the money without me even asking. Obviously, I did not ask, but she just sent it to me and said, I want you to go on this trip. here's the money. And I paid her back the next week after I had gotten paid. But that to me was just like, whoa, it was mind boggling to me. I was like, this is pretty amazing. Someone that I've known for a month, just like out of the kindness of their heart. She has no real idea, like, will she ever pay me back? She never said, like, you have to pay me back by this time. She just like sent it.
See, and that is so kind. And that is the best situation that could happen, that then you paid her right back. But the fact of the matter is, I'm just being cynical. It's not always that
You don't
easy.
know. Yeah.
You just don't know.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of feel like for the most part, if you're going to give a friend money, if I was going to give a friend money, I would look at it as a gift.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I would have to be comfortable looking at it as a gift, knowing I might never get that back. And if I don't, then I don't miss it. And if I do, then that's great. But I wouldn't look at it as like a loan per se, where I was expecting it back by a certain day or time. That I think could cause a lot of tension.
So yeah, I think maybe a good rule of thumb would be don't ever lend more than you would be okay never getting back.
Yes, I love that. I love that rule. That's a really...
And if you do get it back, cool.
Cool.
Gucci.
Good. Gucci. Great. Awesome. Okay, so now we want to hear from you guys about your philosophy on the subject. Do you lend friends money? Do you think that friends and money are like oil and water?
Or do you just have a really easygoing philosophy about it? Who cares? Sometimes I pay, sometimes you pay. No big deal. We want to know how you feel about it.
Yes, tell us in the comments below. And in the meantime, check out theeverygirl.com for more content, and we will see you next week for a brand new episode.
Cheeseburger in paradise.
All right.